welcome to this update video. I really hope that you're doing fantastic this morning. Now we're going to be taking a look at what is happening across the Caribbean, the rainfall forecast, the winds, and also I want to get into an increase in moisture which is expected, likely to dump a lot of rain in portions of Central America and even going up toward the Gulf Coast states of the US. So we'll be talking about that and the next potential cool down for the Caribbean. One is imminent but won't really reach far into the region, but there may be another as we head into the end of the month and early February. So let's get straight into that. We're looking at the infrared satellites right now, and there are a couple of thunderstorms to the west, just to the west of the Florida Peninsula. There they are. Those white dots indicate lightning strikes, and there are a couple of fronts and troughs around, so we find that there is some activity loitering within the area. As for the Caribbean, there are some patches of clouds moving in. As per usual, that's been the story for the most part, resulting in intermittent showers, which may be light, moderate, maybe even heavy at times for the southeastern islands and even parts of the Leeward Islands as well in other areas such as Jamaica. There's been some showers moving through. So as I said, that has been the story, and let us go on to the rainfall forecast for today. What is expected? Well, there we can see the Gulf with some of those colorful shadings of those reds and even that burgundy popping up, and even over in parts of western Florida as well. So there could be some additional rainfall activity through today, potentially for the northwestern Bahamas. Then as we head into the Caribbean and Central America, we can see some of those colorful shadings as well. Parts of Mexico, maybe some spots in Belize, Guatemala, and as we head toward Honduras, Nicaragua, and some parts of Costa Rica and Panama. Not widespread, but there could be some showers there as well. It is a similar story near the Cayman Islands and across portions of Jamaica. But for Cuba and much of the Bahamas, things are likely going to be on the drier side. Similar story over in parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. For Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands through the Lesser Antilles down to Trinidad and Tobago, there could be some additional rainfall activity today as well with that, with those patches of clouds moving in, even near the ABC Islands, but I'm not expecting anything much there. But then going towards northern South America, the story remains with the intertropical convergence zone within the area, and especially as we head into the afternoon, there's likely to be some showers and some thunderstorms growing across some areas. So that is as it relates to rainfall activity. And then taking a look at the winds out there. So it's going to be a windy day. It's been very windy across the Caribbean through this week, and that continues into today, especially for the eastern islands, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, much of the Lesser Antilles, and especially the ABC Islands. So some of those wind gusts could be well over 20-30 miles per hour today. But across portions of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, even Cuba, Hispaniola, and as we head a bit further to the west over in some spots in Central America, there may not be very windy conditions as we head throughout today. But for much of the south and eastern Caribbean, it's been very windy and will remain quite windy. And with that, those seas are quite rough out there, as well as I've been saying through this week. Now, we're heading on to this moisture expected, which is likely to bring along with it an increase in rainfall as we head into next week. So this is the stimulated IR satellite, the infrared satellite from the GFS. It's not a guarantee that this is exactly what it will look like, but let's take a look at what it is showing. So this is as we head into tomorrow. We can see all that activity into Sunday and Monday as well. All of that activity making its way from the Gulf into portions of the United States. And so with that, there is likely to be quite a bit of rainfall. Now, this is through to Tuesday evening, and we can see all of these colorful shadings right here. Some of these purples and these pinkish shadings as well. For example, in the vicinity of the Bay Islands of Honduras, along portions of the Caribbean coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, and over in the Bay of Campeche as well, going up towards Texas, Louisiana. So quite a bit of rainfall expected within those areas. Again, this is the 5-day total, not all expected in just one day, but there could be up to 3, 4, or even 5 inches of rainfall in total throughout this time frame as that moisture is going to be accumulated in the area. Now, going on to the temperature anomaly map, this is from the GFS model, and there we have that legend over to the right side of the screen. So where we see those whites, that is indicating that the temperature is pretty much normal across those areas. The blue shadings going down to the purple and those peach looking shades indicate below average temperatures. Meanwhile, those shades of yellows going to those oranges, those reds, and those baby pink shadings up there, and the brown indicate above average temperatures. So across much of the U.S. later today, we can see that these cooler than normal temperatures are expected across some areas. And this massive cool air is going to be entering the Gulf of Mexico and out into the Atlantic. So areas such as Bermuda going towards parts of the Bahamas may experience some cooler temperatures, and also those stronger winds, and those seas getting a lot rougher out there as well, as that frontal system is going to be moving out. As we head into Monday, we see that it's still around for those areas, and going toward the end of the month. This is Tuesday, the 30th of January, so heading pretty far out here. GFS is showing that there may be another cool down, which actually makes its way into the Caribbean. So parts of Central America, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, maybe even for Jamaica as well. This is going into February 2nd, so this is some time out from now, but we can see that GFS is showing that there could be a potential cool down for the region. We haven't had much of that as it relates to significant impacts from frontal systems since the start of 2024, but let's see what happens as we're going to be heading into the latter part of January and early February. So as of right now, that current cool down not likely to impact many of the Caribbean islands too much as it relates to those below average temperatures, but we could see one that may make its way to the area late this month. However, I'll be keeping my eyes on what is going on out there as usual, and so that is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this evening update. So that is it for right now. And if you're curious about the seismic activity across the Caribbean, there hasn't been any recently reported earthquake. So that is some good news, but it's pretty normal for there to be earthquakes, especially just in the vicinity of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands as well. That area was quite active earlier this week, but as of when I'm recording, there hasn't been any new ones. Jamaica has also been quiet, so after that period of a lot of shaking, September through December, we haven't had any other earthquakes reported around. So that's some good news, but it's good to remember that they can happen at any time, and it's always when we least expect that they'll happen. So that's it for right now, guys. And also, I'll be keeping my eyes on the Indian Ocean, as I mentioned in yesterday's update video, for that next potential cyclone next week. So I'll be giving updates as relates to that as well eventually as time goes by. But that's it for now. I hope you found this video to be quite informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I get the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.